welcome back into another edition of Prime Sports World. And we are now just 48 hours away from the return of the National Football League as the Lions and the Kansas City Chiefs kick off at 8:30 Eastern Standard Time. Just about 48 hours from right now. But on today's episode of The Prime, we're going to give you our early predictions for all of the NFL awards, including the Vince Lombardi Trophy. I'm, of course, your host, David Huffman. Right there is my co-host, Mr. TJ Hopkins. And TJ, welcome into the show, my friend. As we tell people to please like, share, and subscribe. Man, I'm getting hyped, man. 2 days. I'm already picking out my meal that I'm going to get for when I sit down and watch football on Thursday night. I cannot wait, man.
Are you getting it from somewhere, or are you cooking it yourself?
I'm not cooking shit, dude.
Thank God.
I am getting Buffalo Wild Wings. I'm getting a plethora of wings, and I'm just gonna max out and watch football. It's gonna be excellent.
Sounds like a plan.
Yeah. But we gotta, before we can get the season started, we gotta do some predictions. We gotta predict who's gonna be winning some awards across the National Football League. And let's start with the most important award: who's gonna be hoisting the Vince Lombardi Trophy when it's all said and done.
Shouldn't that be like the last thing?
No, we're doing it first. Why? I've decided. This is I've decided industry sometimes, and I happen to have it up there first, so that's why we're doing first.
I mean, just because it's first don't mean it has to.
All right, TJ, hold on. All right, you want me to? Which one do you want to do first?
Rookie of the year, comeback. I don't know anything.
All right, let's start at the bottom of the list. Let's do comeback player of the year. Why am I deleting this? Let's just start at the bottom and work our way up. Since I can spell now. So you see what happens here? Let's start with comeback player of the year, TJ. Who do you think, when it's all said and done, as this is a way too early prediction show, who's going to be winning comeback player of the year?
I think that's a shoo-in for Damar Hamlin, right? Like, considering all things considered,
the guy did die during a game, so I mean,
and he literally came back to life and all that good. So yeah, it's got to be. I honestly, I can't really think of anybody who else had a season-ending injury that didn't play.
Well, I mean, Calvin Ridley is another guy who could potentially have an opportunity.
That's kind of muddy because of
yeah, it's true. But he's a guy who's coming back of a new opportunity. Was suspended. How about Lamar Jackson too? Was injured for a bulk of the season last year. If he comes back and he plays well, I mean, he's going to be in the conversation. Odell Beckham Jr. missed the entire season. Breece Hall tore his ACL. John Mechie III, who got diagnosed with cancer before the start of his rookie season, came back.
Jameson Williams.
Yeah, James Williams is going to be suspended for 6 games. I have a hard time thinking he's going to win the award. But yes, obviously Damar Hamlin is probably the front runner for this award. But I think there are some other guys when you talk about this award that have an opportunity. I think John Mechie III, if that guy goes out and plays like a number 1 wide receiver, I think you have a hard time not giving him the award. The guy beat cancer.
But Damar Hamlin died. He literally
did die.
I don't know. It's one of those where it's I know I said it was pretty cut and dry, but now that you present those, it's not as cut and dry as people make it out to be. I do like the John Mechie pick though.
Yeah. I think I actually might be going that direction because John Mechie is going to have tangible stats that you can look at and be like, yeah, this guy balled out. I mean, yes, PFF does a good job grading those other positions, like a cornerback or a safety. That your impact on the football field is not as profound as what you'd imagine a wide receiver's impact would be.
And he's also going to be he's also in a situation where he's going to be allowed to thrive. He's not playing behind anybody. Yeah. He's gonna be a key weapon for the Houston Texans. It's gonna be I like that.
But I think Damar Hamlin is probably, this is his award to lose. As long as he plays well and stays healthy, I think he'll be the comeback player of the year. I think, when you almost die on the football field, that has some weight to it.
Yeah, like literally. Like,
Yeah, 100%. Then from there, let's talk about defensive rookie of the year. As we're working our way up, is that the right one? Let me check. Defensive rookie of the year. As we work our way from the bottom to the top, who do you got as your defensive rookie of the year, TJ, in your prediction?
oh, it's gonna be hard. I I haven't looked at any betting odds. Me personally, I don't bet. I just like to keep track of that stuff. I'm pretty sure.
Right now.
I'm pretty sure Will Anderson's probably on the one of the betting favorites to win. You got Will Anderson. Got
So the betting favorite right now is man, you know who? So back to comeback player of the year. I just looked up these Vegas odds. You know who has the fourth highest odds of winning comeback player of the year?
I don't.
Russell Wilson.
Oh, that's okay. Okay, I'm not gonna go there. Not gonna go there at all.
He has higher odds. You know who also has? You know who has the sixth highest odds of winning comeback player of the year? Sam Darnold. Who makes the odds?
I can see that. Like even though Sam Darnold didn't play last season.
He did play last season a little bit.
For who?
For Carolina Panthers.
That don't count. He's on that list for he's on that list for a reason. I can see a situation.
Jimmy Garoppolo is the eighth highest guy or ninth. Yeah, ninth.
Yeah, he got hurt. I can see a situation where Sam Darnold comes in, lights it up for the San Francisco 49ers, and because quiet is kept. They may not want to say it, but he had the best preseason / training camp for them.
It's true. He did.
He was
actually the highest rated quarterback of any team and any team last year, this preseason. So Will Anderson 1, Jalen Carter 2, Tyree Wilson of the Las Vegas Raiders at 3, Devin Weatherspoon of the Seattle Seahawks at 4, and Christian Gonzalez of the New England Patriots.
New England.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go Devon Witherspoon. I think the DBs. I think they're gonna do it 2 years in a row. I find it hard to believe Jalen Carter cracks that rotation in Philly outside of rotational runs. Like I think one of the things that helps a young dude win these awards is the amount of time you see on the field. Like one thing that helped Sauce Gardner win Rookie of the Year outside of all the hype he was getting was he played majority of the defensive snaps at his position for the New York Jets. It wasn't it's this situation you come off the field. No, you're gonna see a lot of the field, and Devon Witherspoon, him being a Seattle Seahawk, him also being a DB, he's gonna see the top receivers in the game week in and week out, game in and game out.
Yep. So I think the problem with Jalen Carter, as you pointed out, I don't know how much he's actually going to play for the Philadelphia Eagles this season. Will Anderson Jr., I think, is intriguing. But the other thing is, like, they don't have anybody on the other side that strikes fear into you. So you basically just lock up Will Anderson Jr. and basically just worry about whoever's on the other side. I think what is an interesting guy, if he's not even on the betting favorites, is Brian Branch. He's a safety. He's going to the Detroit Lions, defense that was abysmal last season. If Brian Branch becomes a difference maker on that Lions defense, I could see him have a real shot at winning rookie defense.
I feel the same way about our own guy, Tyreek Stevenson. But look at who we just named. We literally just named 2 DBs. One's a safety, one's a corner. Like these are guys that are gonna see the field a lot. I mean, I think another dark horse would probably be like rookie nose tackles outside, like on those bad teams, right? So a Javon Dexter here, right? Gonna see a lot of the field because we don't have a why is his name a Jordan Davis in front of him or Fletcher Cox.
Yep.
In front of, like, we don't have that here, right? So yeah, like if you like these young dudes on these bad teams, that's kind of why they win outside of like most of the time. That's why they win because they get the reps.
Moving on from here, let's talk about Offensive Rookie of the Year. And the betting favorite is probably the guy I think is actually going to win the award. It's Bijan Robinson of the Atlanta Falcons. I think his role in that team is going to be extremely versatile. They're going to use him in the running game. They're going to use him in the passing game. He's going to have a billion touches as a member of the Atlanta Falcons. And he's going to be part of the engine that makes this team go. Bijan Robinson is my pick to win Offensive Rookie of the Year. He's also the betting favorite. Rounding out the top 6, Bryce Young, Anthony Richardson, C.J. Stroud, Jahmyr Gibbs, the Detroit Lions, and Jordan Addison of the Minnesota Vikings going in there to replace Adam Thielen.
Adam Thielen. I don't have a problem with any of those. Obviously, like it's certain awards that you kind of like to see some diversity in. Like this is one of those super QB heavy awards, especially in the last handful of years. I think what was it? Justin Jefferson was the first skill position player to win it. I don't know how long, but it's so easy for QBs to literally just sweep every offensive award that it's kind of nice to see a running back have the betting favorite odds to win this. All right, what was it? It was literally last year when we was talking about MVP or not MVP, offensive player of the year.
Yeah.
Like it was offensive player of the year, and it was like, yo, it was none of the guys that we thought that were even had a chance. Like they had like the 18th best odds, and it was quarterbacks that had no shot at winning had better odds. Had better odds than winning some of the guys that we knew that were for sure going to produce. Offensive player of the year, I like CJ Stroud, bro. Like I really do. I do. I don't have a problem with Bijan Robinson winning it. I actually agree with you that he's 9 times out of 10 gonna win it. Right, that's probably the only thing about the Falcons I'm going to agree with you on when it comes to this.
Especially if Atlanta is somewhat competitive this season, and a big part of that is because of Bijan Robinson's play. I think that's just another feather in the cap for Bijan Robinson. I also really think that Zay Flowers is an intriguing guy as well. They're in Baltimore. Like
see, he wasn't even on that sheet he wasn't even on that list that you just named off.
Yeah,
right?
he's 1,600. He's tied with Jordan Addison.
Okay, so and you got two dudes, Jordan Addison, Zay Flowers. They're gonna day one starters. Both of them. Like, there's no reason why week 1 come they shouldn't see the field, barring an injury, right? I like
especially Jordan
Addison. Like they drafted you, like, bro, you're wide receiver number 2 out the gate. Like, I think
as much as I think they like KJ Osborne in Minnesota, they like Jordan Addison more.
I think another name to keep your eye on is Dalton Kincaid. I think where's he at? Buffalo, right?
Buffalo, yep.
So I would say keep an eye on him. The one thing that could hang Bijan Robinson up is they kind of do have a revolving door at that running back room in Atlanta. Like, don't forget Cordero Patterson is still there. He takes snaps at running back. Tyler Algiers came on strong for them last season. He had a solid season. And then
with Caleb Williams or Caleb Huntley. The kid from Ball State. I think it's Caleb Huntley. His name.
Yeah. So yeah, it's. I mean, obviously, like when you draft a dude in the first round that high, hey, there's some kind of pecking order established. So it's on. I don't even know who's coaching them now. That's ignorance on my part.
It's the dude that was on the Titans. What is his name?
Todd something? No, that's not him.
Arthur Smith. Yeah, Arthur Smith.
Oh, okay, Arthur Smith. Yeah. So yeah, that's on him to figure out how to ingratiate the others to the new addition that is Bijan Robinson.
Yep. But I think that's the way I'm going. I think that's going to be the guy who ends up winning it. Moving on from there, let's talk a little bit about DPOY. Obviously, Nick Bosa won this award last year. It's been a long time since a player repeated back-to-back seasons DPOY. Does it happen this year, TJ?
No. Speaking of, little trick. Who was the last? Who was the last person to repeat as
It's gotta.
VP of
I mean,
Y?
it's gotta be J.J. Watt, right?
I don't
I'm looking it
know.
up right now. I'm looking it up right now. Hold on.
Watch it be like Lawrence Taylor.
Aaron Donald, maybe.
It was Aaron. Watch it be
Hold
like
on.
Lawrence Taylor. Like,
I mean, it could have been.
no, seriously, like.
All right. Aaron Donald repeated back-to-back years in 2017, 2018. Actually, it has been done more recent than I expected. So Aaron Donald did it in 2017, 2018. Then he won it again in 2020. J.J. Watt won it in 2014 and 15 and 2012. Before that, it wasn't done. Even Lawrence Taylor didn't go back-to-back. Oh, yeah, he did. Lawrence Taylor went back-to-back in 81, 82. Shockingly, before I was even born.
You weren't born yet? Damn. I'm just playing. I'm just playing. Defensive player of the year. I'm going Michael Parsons. I got a big feeling, and I know it's not what you call it, not smart to have faith in the Dallas Cowboys to make a deep playoff run, because their history has shown that that's not who they are. They are divisional and out, right? I think Michael Parsons can have a Nick Bosa type season, get you 17, 18 and a half sacks, just raise all kind of hell and do that there. So yeah, I'm gonna go Michael Parsons, and I feel pretty good about that one. I feel pretty good about him.
Yeah, I think he's going to have a big season, a big impact. I think that Dallas defense should be excellent this season again, probably better than their offense even. But I think that's kind of then the pick that everyone makes, and I'm going to go a little bit different, a different direction. I'm going to go Sauce Gardner to win Defensive Player of the Year. I think if the New York Jets accomplish what they plan on accomplishing this season, it's going to be a lot to do with the fact that their secondary is fantastic, and their best secondary player is Sauce Gardner. He's going to have to go up against really potent offenses every single week in practice every week in a game. I think if the Jets do what they are expected to do this season, a lot of it will have to do with the play of Sauce Gardner. He's my dark horse pick, but I do think Michael Parsons, this is his award to lose. As long as he goes out and plays how he's supposed to play, he has every opportunity to win this award. Betting odds. So Parsons is 1, Myles Garrett is 2, T.J. Watt at 3, Nick Bosa at 4. That's kind of disrespectful. A guy who just won the award is now the 4th highest betting odds. Ahmad Sauce Gardner, 1,400,
So,
and Max Crosby is number 5 at 2,000.
it's kind of like their logic is like, all right, you did it once. There's no way you're gonna have the same success the next season. So like, I get it, but like I agree. Like that shit is kind of disrespectful. Like I ain't
and then moving on from there, let's talk about Offensive Player of the Year. Who do you got, TJ, as your Offensive Player of the Year?
So this is basically what's been turned into the everybody else that's not a QB award. I'm gonna go Tyreek Hill with this one. I don't think it's close either. Like we saw what he was gonna do before Tua got hurt. We saw what he did, still was able to do when Tua went down. Like he made Skylar Thompson look like a NFL level quarterback, even though he's in the NFL. But we already know there's levels to this. Everybody can't. You get what I'm saying? There's levels to this. Like everybody, like yeah, it's levels. Yeah, I'm gonna go Tyreek Hill. I don't think it's close either.
I'm going to go a slightly different direction. As much as I want to say Justin Fields, who has actually a 2,200 betting odds, he actually has the same odds as Jalen Hurts, Lamar Jackson. But I'm actually going to swing into the running back position. I'm going to go Chris McCaffrey. I think if San Francisco is
a full season.
Yeah, I think if San Francisco does what we think they're going to do this season, a lot of it has to do with the versatility of Christian McCaffrey, his ability to be in the backfield and catch patches and throw touchdowns. And I think, based on Brock Purdy, I don't think they're going to ask him to win them as many games this season. I think they're going to lean a lot on Chris McCaffrey. I think Chris McCaffrey has a banger of a season. He's the 3rd highest odds. Do you know the 2 guys ahead of him?
Ahead of Christian McCaffrey?
Yeah, 3 guys. 2 guys are ahead of Chris McCaffrey.
Justin Jefferson.
That's 1. He's 2nd. Technically, he's tied for 2nd.
So is it 3 guys or just two? So is it
Two. So
okay?
the guys that for 1 and 2 are tied at the same odds.
Oh, they got the same odds. Okay. So Justin Jefferson, and if you say a position, will they give it away?
Probably. He's in the AFC.
In the AFC. No, it can't be Derrick Henry.
It's for sure not Derrick Henry.
Um,
Speaking of Derrick Henry, his 2,000 to 1 odds.
AFC. Is it Kelsey?
No, Travis Kelce has 2,500 to 1 odds, and I'm not sure if those odds have been updated since his recent injury. By the way, wish them all nothing but the best. Hopefully, it's nothing.
Excuse me.
It's Jamar Chase. Is Justin Jefferson's LSU teammate. Jamar Chase is number 2. Then odds. I think Chris are expecting big things out of that Buffalo offense or that Cincinnati Bengal offense, and so am I. But yeah, I'm going to go Chris McCaffrey, but I think this award is open as it's been in many years. I think Garrett Wilson's going to have something to say. I think Jalen Hurts. I think Tyreek Hill, Justin Jefferson, Derrick Henry to an extent, Chris Olave. If the New Orleans Saints are better this season. Yeah, so this is a
dark horse, DJ Moore.
Yeah, I think that's another good one. I mean, if he puts up video game type numbers, he's going to be for sure in the conversation. And then to the final. Oh, wait, my bad. I almost disrespected all the coaches. So, Coach of the Year. Who do you guys are Coach of the Year?
Oh, okay. Again, I like how we do this. I mean, we as in the Prime Sports world, I like how we do this because it's real easy to give it to the coach that just wins all the games and like, hey, you're Coach of the Year. We like to give it to the guy that takes a terrible team and makes them somewhat respectable. So a lot of guys we'll give it to for instance, I think last year we gave it to Pete Carroll because we just expected the Seahawks to just be terrible.
We gave it to Brian Daboll, but for a second there.
Oh, Brian Daboll, something like that. But but Pete Carroll was in the running, and it was just guys that we just didn't expect a lot from with the rosters that they had. So obviously, not to be a homer, but Eberflus is on the list. Arthur Smith is in Atlanta is on the list. What's his name? Dan Campbell. I know he has a lot of expectations this year, but he's on the list, and he's probably going to be my Coach of the Year. I'm gonna give
DeMeco Ryans another guy.
DeMeco Ryans down. DeMeco Ryans down in Houston. I'm gonna
go Doug Peterson as my Coach of the Year. I think when it's all said and done, I think the Jacksonville Jaguars will probably have the best record in the NFL when the season's over, just because they got some real cupcakes on their schedule as we went through it. They potentially could win 13, 14 games this upcoming season. I think Doug Peterson has really changed the culture of the Jacksonville Jaguars. I think he's going to be Coach of the Year.
It really wasn't a hard culture to change. Let's throw that out there. It didn't take much, it didn't take a lot to right that ship. You know what I'm saying?
Real quick, who do you think has the lowest odds to win Coach of the Year of all the coaches in the NFL?
Lowest odds, as in the biggest number, or
so this is like the biggest long shot. So if you bet this is like this, so this is the guy they think he has the weakest chance of winning Coach of the Year.
It's got to be what's his name at Arizona.
It is not actually. Shane Steichen. That's not his name, anyways. What is his name?
Steven something.
He's not even on the list, so maybe he is. Yeah, maybe. Yeah, he's not on the list here, so that's not a good sign for him, actually. But it's Todd Bowles. Todd Bowles is the lowest. All the people on the list is Todd Bowles, and rounding out the bottom 5 based on just this list: Brian Daboll, Sean McDermott, Andy Reid, Mike McCarthy, and Todd Bowles. What kind of list is this? Anyways, yeah, I'm taking Doug Peterson. He's going to be my coach of the year. I think he has the best opportunity to win that award. But this is coach of the year is so hard to predict because we don't really know like what the seasons, how things are going to play. I think Mike Tomlin is another guy who has a real opportunity to win coach of the year as they continue to just put whoever out on the field and they can just continue to win games.
Yeah, 16 years, not a losing seasons.
Yeah. Moving on from there, the final award before we get to the Lombardi Trophy, let's talk about MVP. And before we get into MVP, is this recent Travis Kelce news have any impact on your MVP vote whatsoever?
No.
Like your prediction before the season starts? No. Okay.
No.
MVP.
Like it's different if he's out multiple weeks. He's out 1 week.
Maybe
he's out Thursday. Maybe he's out 2 weeks if they're just saying, you know what? Yeah, we want you know what? And just take an extra week. We'll be fine. No. MVP, I'm gonna give that mother Joey B. I'm gonna go Joe Burrow for MVP.
I'm going to ride this wagon one more time and probably get burnt one more time, but I'm going to go Josh Allen. I think this is the season where he gets over the hump. I look at what they added in Dalton Kincaid, another season with their running back room. Adding a Damian Harris there to take a little bit of that load off of Josh Allen in the running game a little bit. I think Josh Allen's going to rise up, and I think he's going to be the guy that wins the MVP. He currently has the third highest odds. Patrick Mahomes, obviously number one when it comes to odds. 2, Joe Burrow. 3, Josh Allen. 4, Justin Herbert. And 5 is Jalen Hurts. Some pretty good names there when it comes to betting on the NFL awards. But I'm going to go Josh Allen. My dark horse is actually Trevor Lawrence. I think Trevor Lawrence, if they have the best record, in the NFL, I think I have a hard time not giving him the award, especially if his numbers are prolific, which they 100% could be with the weapons they have there right now with Travis Etienne and Calvin Ridley and Christian Kirk and Zay Jones and whatever they're going to be doing. Evan Ingram offense at tight end. Like that should be an offense that puts up numbers in bunches.
It's just I liken them to the Detroit Lions. It's like you have higher expectations expected of you now. How do you handle that, right? So it's easy to be a one and done. It's easy to have one good season and fall back to the face of the earth or slowly decline, right? So I think the difference is between them and a Cincinnati Bengals is you have a guy in Doug Peterson who's gonna nip all that extra ish in the bud. Like, hey, y'all talking? Who talking? Y'all ain't want nothing. Y'all ain't no Super Bowl champ. I'm a Super Bowl champ. That's me. So I think that's what separates like a Doug Peterson from a Zach Taylor, because Zach Taylor, in my honest opinion, doesn't have the cachet, which he should have, to tell his players, hey, shut up. Y'all talking too much for a bunch of guys that ain't won nothing.
Mm-hmm.
So Doug Peterson can look at his guys and be like, "Hey, shut up."
I mean, he's got a championship ring. He's got the cachet. He's got the Lombardi. I mean,
we haven't won anything. Shut up. Mm-hmm. So stop talking. And that's kind of the difference between the two. You saw Jacksonville make that comeback, and it was all business. It was all business, right? You see Cincinnati beat Buffalo, they're calling Arrowhead Burrowhead. Like, bro, like, what? Like, can y'all, I don't know, like, win a chip first? Like, I understand, like, they now don't get me wrong, like, they have quote unquote ample reason to talk, right? Joe Burrow's second year in the league, they go to the Super Bowl. Next year, AFC Championship. And I think it's 2 trips to the AFC Championship since then. So, but at the same time, you ain't won nothing. No one, like, you haven't won. Like, at the end of the day, victor goes to the spoils go. The spoils go to the victor. You haven't won anything. No one cares that you almost won.
Yeah,
nobody
cares you almost won the Super Bowl.
There's no almost championship.
The lowest player to have MVP odds is at 25,000 to 1, and it's Tony Pollard. So if you're feeling froggy, you wanna bet. I think my math. I'm not really great at gambling or knowing what these odds mean, but I think if you bet $100 on Tony Pollard and he ends up winning the MVP, I think you win $25,000. Right? Is that how it works? Like
something like that. I'm like you. Like, I don't. All I know is, hey, all I know is my brother bet on Colorado TCU. He turned $100 into $840. So,
man,
yeah.
DeAndre Hopkins, or actually George Kittle has the lowest odds. What is this? All these other people. Marcus Mariota has 30,000 to 1 odds to win the MVP. Carson Wentz has 30,000 to 1 odds. Zach Wilson, what do you think Zach Wilson's odds are to win the MVP?
50,000 to 1.
20,000 to 1. 20,000.
So like that means like, hey, if Aaron Rodgers get hurt and hurt early and hurt early in the season, like week 1, week 2,
yeah,
right,
yeah,
and Zach Wilson come in and ball. Oh my God.
Moving on from that, let's talk about the final award that we're going to be predicting here. Super Bowl champion.
Super Bowl champion. All right. Given everything that we know now, obviously it's no hypotheticals because week 1 literally is 2 days away, and Chris Jones is no closer to coming back than he was a week ago when we did the T show. I'm going to go the Dallas Cowboys. And the Buffalo Bills in the Super Bowl rematch from that one they played. No, was that them? They played Super Bowl. They played Super Bowl against each other. I think they played like 2 of them. So, yeah, I'm going to go Dallas and Buffalo. And I'm kind of with you. Like, and the intrigue in that for me is like you got 2 coaches basically in the same situation, right? Probably one hotter than the other no, I was actually gonna say Sean McDermott.
No, I think McCarthy's job is hotter than McDermott's.
You think so?
Yeah.
Real talk, it might be pretty even. I think it's pretty even.
I mean, it's close, but I think it's Mike McCarthy. Even if Boy Wonder is no longer in the picture.
Well, he's not there to blame anymore, so that's that. And I think Buffalo finally gets their one. I think Josh Allen joins the ranks because people have completely just started to like gloss over him.
Yeah.
Right. Like it's like it's already started. Right. Like they're starting to put like they're starting. They've already put Joe Burrow ahead of him. Right, so everybody knows that the conversation is Pat Mahomes and everybody else. Like, who's battling for 2 through whatever, you know? So, a lot of people are going Pat Mahomes and Joe Burrow, and some people have even thrown Trevor Lawrence ahead of him, Justin Herbert ahead of him. Like, obviously, Aaron Rodgers is still a player in this thing. Jalen Hurts ahead of Josh Allen. Again, nothing, no disrespect, Jalen Hurts. Hey, one more time, bro. You gotta do it again. Right? I'm seriously like, and I'm glad I'm not the only one that thinks that way. I'm glad I finally convinced y'all to have that mindset because again, anybody can have one good season. Like Jalen Hurts had a better everything than Justin Fields last season, right? Like that's no argument. He only threw 5 more touchdowns than Fields did. People didn't even know that. People like I'm in sports groups just like you in sports groups. I'm all when I said that statement, they was like, "Wait, Fields Hurts only threw for 22 touchdowns last season?" Yeah, and was getting called elite in the process.
With that being said, I'm going with the same Super Bowl champ. I think this is the year that Buffalo Bills get over the schneid. They get over the hump. I think they finally deliver a Lombardi Trophy to Orchard Park, and that Super Bowl parade is going to be out of this world.
I mostly want to see Buffalo burn down. That's really what I want to see.
But I think they're beating a different team. I actually think they're going to beat San Francisco. I think San Francisco is going to be the team coming out of the NFC. I like what their defense is built. I like what their offense is built. They're going to be excellent this season, and yeah, they're going to be in the Super Bowl, and they're going to lose to Buffalo because I just think the Josh Allen thing is going to be too much for San Francisco to overcome. Give me Buffalo to win the Vince Lombardi Trophy, and that's who I got predicted. Now that's all of our predictions here from Prime Sports World before the season starts. We will revisit this probably at the halfway point and see if things have changed, if any of our predictions have changed. But thank you very much for hanging out here with us in Prime Sports World. As we got 2 days until the start of the NFL season. Tomorrow, we're actually going to jump back into the NBA, do a crossover episode, talking a little bit about the Central, what they got going on as we do some season previews, as the NBA is not that far around the corner. It'll literally be here before we even know it. But thank you very much for joining us. Please like, share, and subscribe to the podcast. My name is David Huffman right there.
Maybe do some maybe do some FIBA talk, World Cup basketball talk,
Yeah.
So, brush up on your FIBA talk. It's a 30-second look. Just look up stuff. It's not that hard.
I don't know if I'll have time for that, but we'll see. But yeah, David Huffman, TJ Hopkins, and thank you very much for watching us here at the Prime. TJ, what do we do here at the Prime, my friend?
We bring the heat, and we are getting a break in like a day. So
yeah,
like,
it's supposed to be like sweltering tomorrow, but it's supposed to be like in the 60s.
Like, I have never been so happy to see an 83-degree day in my life.
It's true.
And I think that's like Friday or something.
We got in the 60s on Thursday, so looking forward to that. But yeah, I'm David Humpman. There's TJ Hopkins. You guys all have a good night and stay safe out there. We'll see you guys tomorrow.